And the biggest blocker for these
That is true. That is true. If you are unattractive, you're broke, you got nothing. If you can make a woman laugh, ooh, if you got a little bit of riz to you, that'll go a long way, boys.
guys
Yaps. It's in the name. So over here in the States, we have Bumble, we have Hinge, we have Tinder, Grindr. We got a lot of dating apps. And I would argue that all of them are scams, right? And then there's one now where it's like it's called like Teapot or something, where it's like if you have a bad date, girls can go on there and post a picture of you and tell you how much you suck. So it's definitely like dating apps are just a scam. So TSB letting us know what the Indian dating apps are like. This one I'm very excited for.
150,000 years ago, a man by the name of Kajizvizk saw a woman walk by and thought, gee, I wish I could go talk to her. His friend, who went by the equally majestic name Sizvizk,
Very, very sophisticated.
said, go on then, what could go wrong? And so, Kajizvizk got up from his boulder and started walking towards her, thinking, yeah, what could go wrong? Nothing much, except that 2 minutes later he was pelted to death because she was a local princess, and apparently he should have bowed to her before he could even look her in the eye.
Oh my god.
Centuries later, the same thing happened to an Egyptian pharaoh. Then again, a few more centuries later, to this soldier in ancient China.
A few more centuries. I see what you did there.
And now to you, from Lakshmi Villa Society, Sector 12. And yet, somehow, the human species has survived, all because a tiny arrow kept penetrating a puffy little circle a few billion times. So why, after all this, is dating still so bloody difficult? The other day,
Because people are complicated, damn it.
I saw someone using a dating app in a public
And people are only, especially nowadays, people are only as loyal as their options.
restroom. Hey, we all do shameful things in life, let's not judge. And I thought, gee, I wish I could be on one of these dating apps. And my friends, let's call them Chu, Tia and Bose DK, said, go on then, install the app. What could go wrong? So I went to the Play Store, downloaded the app, found a lot of people with their clothes off, realized
Damn.
this was Telegram, not Tinder, and downloaded the right kind of app this time. And then spent the entire weekend swiping profiles like I was on the hunt for the next India's Got Talent winner, all the while thinking, what
Or India's Got Leighton.
could go wrong? Yeah, you already know it went wrong because I'm making a video about it. Here's what today's dating apps basically tell you. Remember how you have no friends
You're
and
not tall enough, you're not jacked enough, and you don't have enough money, and you don't have enough clout.
are lonely all the time? Yeah, nice, no? Now get ready to experience that all over again, but on our app. So let's do a little get dumped with me session together, alright? Step 1. You create an account, put in your basic details like name, age, height, preference, location, net banking password, PAN card, your dreams, your resume, an essay on what kind of a pathetic loser you are to not find people in real life, etc, etc. You know, the usual shebang, nothing fancy.
Yeah,
They've all given this to
the basic
ChatGPT
stuff.
anyway, so what's one more app?
For sure.
Step 2. If you're a guy, you swipe. If you're a girl, you wait. Step 3. Continue step 2 for a few more days. Step 4. Continue step 3 for a few more days. Step 5. Congrats, you've been diagnosed with clinical depression. Yay! Now, of course, there are exceptions even on these exceptional apps. Some people have found success on dating apps and a few have even met their life partners. Yeah, I can't imagine. 30 years ago, in the days leading up to their wedding,
It's gonna be crazy. Lo and I met through Tinder. Believe it or not, Lo and I met through Tinder. So you could find love on these apps. It's not gonna happen often, but
our parents had seen
Lo and I have been together for 10 years. So, maybe one in every 1,000 relationships actually pans out. Just keep swiping, boys.
each other but never spoken. Today, in the days leading up to our wedding, we would have spoken to each other but never seen. Okay, but what about the remaining 95% of the people who have struggled to even find a right match? Well, let's focus on guys for a second. You might have heard of the two famous rules in dating. Rule 1, be good looking. Rule 2, always remember Rule 1. But that's not all anymore. Of course, you follow the first two basic rules,
yeah.
but then there's an addition with Rule 3, which is realize you do not belong in Rule 1 or 2, and so follow the preference pyramid instead.
Okay.
The preference pyramid is a list of attributes that women find attractive in men, with each category being progressive.
Money, social clout, cars and access. Then we got height, and then probably looks.
Worse than the one above it. At the top, we of course have an asymmetrical face that does not induce a vomiting reflex in a woman's mind, but since most of us are already halfway there, the next preference for the female species is be tall and not a Neanderthal.
Damn, called it.
Now, tall is a generic word, and in an ideal world, height shouldn't matter at all, but we live in the real world, and in the real world, height should only be relative to that of the woman. So, for instance, if a girl is 5'4", she would want someone at least 5'4" or taller. Seems fair, right?
Yeah.
Wrong, because we're not living in the real world, my friend.
See, that's logical. That's another bro thinking of another bro logic. The girl needs to say that he needs to be 6'2" at a minimum.
We're living in the freaking fantasy world where if you're anything short of a swashbuckling, back-aching, 3-time champion NBA player, you don't even make the cut. Which is funny because some of the girls demanding tall as a personality type weigh the size of a basketball. Good. But this is actually good news to tall guys. Because if you thought you were bang average in terms of looks before, which you still are, sorry, had to remind you like that.
Nothing changed there.
Rule 2, remember. But if you're 5'11" or 6 foot and above now, you still have a chance. But let's say in the eyes of a lady you have the height of Jadoo or worse, a baby Yoda, you still get to impress them if you are rich. Now, this is not to say that all women are gold diggers. Some really like
No. Rich is at the top.
to work in the mines, but having cash in your pants hurts nobody. Not even the dominatrix you hired last night. So now, if you have a bald patch and are 5'6", but your startup on edible underpants just got the nod for an IPO, congrats, you still have a date. That's the good part. But will she like you for who you are?
No.
Yeah, if you pay her enough, she'll tell you that too. Next up,
Jesus Christ.
we have owns a cat or dog or God forbid an SUV in a city like Bangalore. Great, your first half of the date now includes finding a parking spot. Now, most women are in an exclusively
It can't be that bad. It can't be that bad.
mutual category when it comes to
That's
cats
the
or
same
dogs.
joke in like
so if they
4
love
different
cats, they
videos.
hate dogs and vice versa.
Yep.
It's a bit of a gamble, I know, but you can hedge your risks by simply owning both. This is because women find owning a pet attractive because they think it makes guys look responsible and loving. The keywords being think and look. So let's
That's all women do is just they think and they look and they're like, okay.
not break their bubble and keep it that way. And owning a 5-seater shows all the great signs of having a rich dad, which ties back to the previous preference. So if the date
Rich
doesn't
as
work
fuck.
well, at least she doesn't have to pay 350
That's what
rupees
I'm
for an
telling
auto
you.
while coming back. If you don't own any of these above traits, the last option you have is this ancient mythical trait of being funny or interesting. And the biggest blocker for these
That is true. That is true. If you are unattractive, you're broke, you got nothing. If you can make a woman laugh, ooh, if you got a little bit of riz to you, that'll go a long way, boys.
guys is that it's tough to show this on.
I honestly think that's the strongest thing going with Lo and I is I make her laugh all the time. She makes me laugh. Like that's the thing that we do the most in our relationship, I think, is laugh.
Profile, and they just have to hope that some girl accidentally swipes them right or finds the reply to her 2 truths and a lie prompt clever enough to forgive their lack of abs or assets. Yeah, we have essentially reached a generation where having a good personality is the last preference in a good personality. The problem is most guys don't check any of these boxes. They are 5'8", still as a 3-week-old bred, earning 5 lakhs per annum, horny with unremarkable looks, high expectations and low
Christ.
demands. They put as much effort in their profile as they did for their placement interview and are here to just get lucky. So does this mean there are no women who want
They're thinking about it like Gamble. They're like, if I scratch off enough, if I get enough times at bat, eventually I'm going to make contact.
none of this but just a simple, loving, kind,
I'm gonna hit
smart
that
and sweet
wicket.
little guy who is here for a serious relationship? There are. Of course there are. Many of them downloaded looking for someone exactly like that. But there is a logical problem to this whole situation, and for that, let's talk about girls now. Rules 1 and 2 do not apply to women as much, and not because life is unfair, though it usually is, it's because of the most important concept you will ever study in your life, the concept of demand and supply.
True. There is more men that want women than women looking for men.
Yes, welcome back to class 11th economics where I make you regret choosing science over commerce. And yeah, good luck with that elusive knowledge on trigonometry of yours, by the way. Now go find the height of the cement pillar while you're doing construction work in Dubai. Now, if we apply the concept of demand and supply on dating apps,
Damn, that's on the nose for the Miles City, huh? I know exactly what he's referencing.
the graph is hilariously lopsided like this. And that's because there are a lot more guys on dating apps and way fewer girls. Because A, girls are more hesitant to install one, B, skeptical about the guys they might meet there,
True.
and for very good reason, and C, a lot more confident about finding guys in real life and so don't find the need for it.
Guys have it bad for sure, but girls have another level of bad where it's a different level of spam and just cesspool through their DMs.
Guys, on the other hand, are the exact opposite. In fact, even if you were good looking, there would hardly be a girl who would have approached you directly in real life and asked you out. That's just the culture here. So now we have a huge supply of men in these apps but a huge demand for women at the same time, which means the equilibrium is that a girl gets 10 times more attention than a guy, minimum. And in a world where showing even a little bit of skin can help you gain thousands of followers online, you can imagine the avalanche of attention women get just by being on one of these dating apps.
For sure.
You see, guys will swipe right or send like on anything that even remotely smells women in the bio. Don't believe me? Then just search for the tons of posts and reels available on Reddit and other
Created a fake dating woman profile. She got over 70 plus matches from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. Profile hasn't even been up for 5 hours. None of her pictures are dressy or a lot of effort, just has a nice body. No effort in the profile at all. I've run across women who seem to intentionally say things like, I think babies are ugly, and I believe those women still have received huge amounts of matches despite their terrible profiles and prompts. Most of the dudes she matched with have better pictures and taller. Almost all claim to be 6+ feet. Feeling very disheartened while online dating. I've worked very hard for multiple years on myself to only see so many guys who naturally blow me out of the water. Women in real life don't want to be bothered. Is there any hope? Please help me feel better about this realization. The only thing that I could tell to this person is like, you can't focus on that. You focused apparently on putting time and effort into yourself. Continue to do that. Put yourself into the gym. I've seen a lot of the gym that I go to is cool because we have so many diverse we have so many diverse cultures. We have Hispanics who are in there, not including myself. We have a few Indians in there with Remy and Anju. I love seeing it. Manu in there as well. We have so many different kinds of people. So getting fit and in shape is a universal truth to make yourself feel better, give yourself more confidence, and then also find a hobby. That's really where you're gonna find a girl, because if you're into something, there's gonna be a girl who's also into that same thing. Maybe, not the one that you thought in your head. Lo wasn't initially the type of girl I thought I would be with. I'm a sucker for blonde eyes or blonde hair and blue eyes. Lo is neither of those things, but I think Lo is beautiful, and she is my entire world. You guys could you find the same thing by getting a hobby, going balls deep into that hobby, and then eventually trying to be good at that hobby too. That way you can impress the girl who's also interested in that thing.
The social media apps where guys pretend to be women.
That is your motivation, your advice from Elrod G today.
Women do not show their face, post
Baba
absolutely
Elrod.
random stuff like mountains of flowers in their bio, and get hundreds of likes within an hour. Yes, hundreds. Which means, ladies, you can pretty much throw the preference pyramid out of the window because most guys will prefer you no matter what. And that leads to the biggest problem this effect has on women. They come on apps not to date, but to validate. It's not even intentional most of the time. It's just that when your self-esteem gets 137 compliments before breakfast, you stop searching for love and start recharging your confidence. So when every Dia, Ria and Pia on the block gets tons of matches, here are a few things that happen to you as a woman on dating apps. You naturally get spoiled for choices and hence will only like back 2 or 3 of every 10 matches based on looks alone. In apps where guys can send comments or reply to prompts, you are now overwhelmed with cringe pickup lines, terrible intros and straight up horrendous questions. Which means now among the 3 guys you liked out of every 10 guys, you will only like the guy with a combo of good looks and a good opening line. And once you get a match, you don't even have to put a lot of effort because why
He's going to be bending over backwards to try to get you.
would you? There will always be a long queue of guys just trying to catch your attention with roses and super swipes.
This is what I'm saying, is they're only as loyal as their options.
Guys might have terrible profiles, the same old gym selfies, headshots from terrible angles or just poorly dressed overall, but girls don't even try. You can play a drinking game where you take a shot every time a girl writes sleep in her ideal Sunday prompt, or late nights and deep conversations as to what she loves, or fluent in roast or sarcasm, or a fan of any of the 100 available generic American sitcoms as if she's the first one who's ever watched it. And sprinkle some generic hobbies like traveling, exploring food, working out, or some random outdoor sport activity. So now, when their entire personality.
So once more, guys, I'm telling you, working out, traveling, I mean, these two are kind of hard with the traveling and exploring food. You got to have money for that. But working out and then like playing an outdoor sport activity, you can go to your local park and play some cricket. You can play some soccer. You maybe even play some chess, even though I think that's going to be mostly males there.
Is built around
Still in the
sleeping,
park.
skincare, quoting Netflix, or having pseudo deep conversations, which get as deep as the chances of you getting a match with her, and
Not
yet
very
they
deep.
still end up getting likes. This leads to that second biggest flaw on dating apps. zero conversational skills, and bad texting etiquettes. Let's say
That's
a
a
match
cultural
finally
problem.
happes. The best they will do is say hi, the worst is not
Maybe a
even reply.
generational problem.
And the response will come as if she's living in Pacific Standard Time, so a gap of minimum 8 hours. And all for a haha yeah. And just look at the amount of effort they put in. Their sentences do not start with a capital letter, their questions do not end with a question mark. Neither do they have full stops nor a comma until
No, that's just text. That's just texting lingo. You cannot break down a response that much. No wonder you're single, because you're looking into it too deep.
that keyboard is
The
forceful.
conversation ain't that deep, and you're over there trying to dive head first. You're acting like this conversation is 12 feet deep in a pool, and you're diving head first into a 1 foot pool. No wonder you gotta walk in and kind of let it naturally get there.
Hijacking it. If you're not serious about your sentence structure, how the hell are you gonna be serious about a relationship? This is not a gender specific problem, by the way. This is a situation specific problem. That is, if the situation was reversed, guys would have done the same thing, if not worse. So, how do you get a match on a dating app? Women, you don't have to do much, just install it. Men, uninstall it, because the number of matches is going to be the same before and after installing it. And finally, to add more chaos to this mess, there is a general mismatch in expectations between the two sides. As mentioned previously, most men are here to just get lucky, something casual, commitment free, or short term. To put it sophisticatedly, they just want a boink. Women, on the other hand, largely seek something more slow.
Don't be fooled. Women too just want a boink, and there's plenty of guys who want the reverse, who want a serious relationship, and they find themselves getting boinked by a girl who just wants it for that one night, and they're gonna go to the next buy tomorrow.
Subtle and stable. And to add a layer to this, there are guys who pretend to want something long term but just want something casual, aka backdoor boink boys, and girls who pretend are open to short term but are not ready at all, aka commitment chameleons. Okay, so let's tie this all back to the main problem that each of them have on these dating platforms. Men find no matches and women don't find the right one, assuming both of them are here looking for someone special. So why is that? Let's call them genuine guy and genuine girl, and the canon event begins when the genuine guy swipes and gets no matches. So he starts the loop by swiping more. By this time, the genuine girl, who has already received a lot of likes and has realized that most of them are looking for something casual, gets overwhelmed with even more likes, becomes more skeptical and selective, and hence chooses fewer guys. So now the genuine guy ends up seeing fewer results, which leads to him swiping even more, and just like that, the loop continues.
It is a drastic loop, but eventually you find the right person, can find the right person, and then that loop breaks. That's what happened with Lo and I.
Occasionally, the genuine guy might find a match or two, but thanks to the conversational problems and expectation mismatch we talked about, leads to unmatching or the good old ghosting. Meanwhile, the genuine girl is left stranded, still waiting and looking for the genuine guy, who unfortunately is lost somewhere in a heap of fake likes and cringe compliments.
I would argue that both of these people need to go out and get some hobbies, and they'll find each other naturally.
Both are now mentally and emotionally drained and have probably lost the hope of finding someone special.
See, now they found each other.
Wow, that turned a lot sadder than expected. Hey, at least you're not being pelted to death, yeah?
Yeah.
That's only after dating and your parents find out about it. So yeah, good luck with that.
Good luck with that. All right, let's do our favorite thing and read the comments. Not gonna lie, this video peaked at Chu Tai Bows. The only way to win is to not play the game at all. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. So true. Dating apps are for two kinds of people. The ones who want easy 9 out of 10, and the ones who are self-esteem is made out of animanium. I mean, that's true. Man, this is such an underrated channel. Please hype this channel and get this channel to grow 1,000,000%. In fact, we're subscribing, we're liking, we're doing the damn thing. And I will be right back.